My mom, um, when I was 6, she bought me a sketchbook in Mexico. It's the first sketchbook that I've ever owned. It was bright green and bright yellow, and she had a promise. It was a passing promise. She basically was like, "I'll buy it for you if you use every page," you know. And at the time, I didn't think it was, I probably wasn't gonna do it, but um, I ended up coming into going on a trip to LA, and that was 21 years ago, and I haven't gone back since then. So I kind of kept the promise, I guess, since then. My name is Vasco. I am from Mexico, specifically Chiapas. It's like the last southern state, and I'm a painter. I feel like the reason why I still keep going is there are so many things in my life that I think have pressured me into this life. As an immigrant, I can't have a normal job, and if I have a job, it has to be something like washing dishes, building houses, things that don't pay well, first and foremost. And second of all, in my community, I don't know any artists, any immigrants especially, that is pursuing the arts. And I think I feel like the reason why I'm still doing it is so that I can mythologize the immigrant experience. I feel like a lot of immigrants don't have the time, privilege, or capacity to make art because we're always constantly working, providing for our families, constantly worrying about immigration and all that jazz. I feel very privileged that not only do I have the time, the gift, but also the support to make the work that I do. And for me, especially in LA, I see all these voices impacted, especially now, by what's happening in our government. And I feel a responsibility as a painter to document and to speak about the things that a lot of us are afraid to either speak out loud, or maybe we just never really have the words to say it. So I carry this burden and this blessing that I need to tell these stories that are shared commonly through these paintings. I think the goal is just to get to know myself, Like there are reasons why I paint certain things, but at the end of the day, I think I feel this, like, I think my family, besides like my own blood family, like my actual family, it feels like I'm part of this canon of artists that have lived the way that I've lived for the last couple hundred years. Like Picasso used to say that he would imagine Velasquez or Goya watching him paint. And I feel that way too. Like I feel like sometimes when I'm tuned in here, it's like 2 a.m., my dog is asleep, no one else is here. The only thing I hear is like the train, and I'm just locked in. I still can feel the presence of these like other artists who've had their time, and they're maybe curious and cheering on to the fact that now I'm alive and that I'm taking a shot at the ring. I feel like it's just to get to know myself, and also I probably would be batshit crazy if I wasn't painting. It's like my therapy as well. The series that I have going on right now for the show, it's all about memory and how memory stretches. It becomes stained, it becomes fuzzy, and it also becomes a mythology in our own heads. I feel like memory is the thing that keeps us alive, especially after we're long gone. I mean, I think I'm really preoccupied with the idea that for us now, none of us is maybe as romantic as it will be for someone in the year 2089. There's gonna be somebody picking up a book being like, wow, the 2020s look really crazy. For us, we're in the era now, right? But I like to imagine that artists are creatures that document the present, honor the past, and somehow predict the future. I mean, Warhol did that with his 15 minutes of fame. I mean, it's literally like social media now, Like he would have loved the 2020s if he had lived to be this far. And a lot of people idolize him for that. So I feel like for me, I haven't quite found that. But I think the purpose of it right now is to mythologize this era, to romanticize it while I'm still alive, so that when people find this work in like a couple decades, they can look back and be like, hey, this guy captured the essence of his time and almost made a mythology out of it. You know? If I could go back, let's say like 10 years, I would probably say you were right, and you were right that there are really good things coming, but you're also right that it's not going to be easy, but you're also right that you have what it takes to get it. That's what I would say. To start with this one, so this piece, for example, this is the first painting that I've done this with, but practically a lot of my works, I think, starts with memory. This is the only painting in this entire place that didn't start from a memory. This actually started from, I think, just like, it's like a present memory, I guess. So this is inspired by the ice raids that started happening. I feel comfortable saying this, but when they started in LA, they were actually down the street from the studio. They were in vans. And I got like texts and calls from colleagues being like, get the fuck out. Because they were like literally just like looking out for people. So I remember getting in my car and like literally drifting into the fucking highway and like just fucking escaping them. Twice that happened. And in the middle of that, I also was like going through a heartbreak, like a pretty intense breakup. And then I had like a family grief happen. All of this happened like condensed in like a week or two. And memory became a lost thought, and what happened yesterday kept happening tomorrow, and it kept happening. And so this is the first painting where I was like, this is actually not, it comes from a place of memory, but weirdly enough, that memory keeps coming back to me to haunt me over and over again. So this came as an ode to that, I guess. It's not, this is the only painting in the show that is not derived from like a memory, rather like this ongoing feeling. So I usually just like choose the emotion, which in this case was, I think, rage and sadness and grief, and kind of just go from there. So the first idea, I call this Popocatépetl, so it's a volcano in Mexico. So I thought about like what element of nature highlights my emotions the most, and in this case, it was a volcano. And I also had been painting volcanoes lately, subconsciously. Like here's one. This is like, oh. There's one right there. This is also a breakup painting. I have her name right there. You know, this is exactly what that breakup felt like. Same thing with this painting of my mother. You can kind of see there's like a volcano on the top. You know, they just started popping up everywhere. So when it became time to paint this, I thought maybe the volcano is me. Maybe it's my subconscious telling me like you have a lot to release. You know. So this is the first painting that didn't come from memory, just became this constant, it's like I'm stuck in a loop. I kind of just have to take a risk. Like, I mean, to be honest, like losing like my cousin and not being able to see him for 21 years, and then getting like, having your grandma calling you crying, your mom, your aunts, and not being able to go to their funeral. And then the same week, your partner of almost 3 years just leaves cold turkey, right? And then the eyes, it's like, I don't know if the human bodies or the human emotion is able to hold on to so many things. But somehow I did it. I was deeply inspired by a story that I heard about Picasso. When he was in Paris during the Nazi occupation in the late 30s, he actually, I didn't know about this, but apparently he used to hide and give money to a lot of Jewish and Polish refugees. And he knew he could have died. He knew he could have died, but he used his privilege to do that. And so I asked myself, like, what is my privilege in the midst of all of this? And I think that's art. And I kind of just come in here and treat it as, this could be genuinely, I'm like, this could be my last time painting. I don't fucking know that. I actually don't know that. But if I don't do it now, no one else is gonna do it. And also, like, I'm so sick and tired of being told to hide, to run, and for immigrants to like downplay their emotions, to downplay like our presence. It's like, if anything, now is the time to say fuck that. Like, I'm actually gonna just like make our struggles, like all these things like known, you know? Because right now, you know, I would say playing it safe would just be not painting and staying at home. But I tried that for 3 fucking weeks, and I was a mess. And my heart was telling me that I needed to be here regardless of the risk that it proposes. And luckily so far, thank God, like I have been fine. So anyways, yeah, this painting, it really is that. It's like a combination of all that. Also this, forgot to mention, this piece is also made with natural pigments. So that was like another venture. So it's not acrylic. It has an acrylic body, but the paints are derived from natural minerals. So it gives it an extra sort of like nod to my indigenous background, you know? And it carries the message even more. It's like indigenous people have been persecuted, you know, since like the 1500s, at least in Mexico, you know? And so I think that's also a conversation to have about like what role the materials play with the emotions and the time. Yeah. This girl last night, she just like reposted my work, so I was like, hey, thanks for reposting it. And she was like, yeah, like I love your work. We started chatting for a little bit, right? This girl doesn't know me at all. It's like 2 a.m. and then she's like, hey, like as an artist, I just want to ask, like, what was it like to like get the show? Like, what was it like to live in your studio? And I don't think someone had asked me that before, because I lived here for about 10 months with my dog. And winters here are crazy, summers are crazy. And this is what I said, and I think it sums it up pretty nicely. I said, practically, you live in a room with your work. You have no distractions. You're alone. It's freezing cold during winters and crazy hot during summers. You have nothing but your work. You don't have access to a shower. You shower once every 3 to 4 days. You eat, sleep, and paint in the same place. At night, you hear nothing, since the studio is away from the city. Every day, you see your friends, family, and partner living their lives on their Instagram stories. You feel alone, isolated. It makes you wonder if your art is good enough. You ask, what even is good? Why do you make art? Will it be worth it? What if it doesn't work out? And then your heart breaks. Your one person that you consider your safety net leaves, then ice raids happen. Then family grief strikes. Suddenly you wonder why. Will I go on? You continue painting because that's all there is to do. But one day, you get a call. A gallery wants to represent you. They offer you a solo exhibition. Suddenly you realize it was worth it. Yeah, that puts it up in 10 months, I would say, yeah. But it's crazy.